Hello, my name is James Bruger, and I did my uh, study or looked at my studies, systematic reviews on concussion knowledge amongst coaches and officials. Kind of did this with my background in exercise science, um, having have a bachelor's, hopefully getting my master's in December, and then I spent a couple hours, 200 plus internship hours in the ILR training room. Um, so this was an interest of mine. I'm also a football fan, so it was one of the things that I thought that why not? It pertained to me. I'm going to be a coach this year for high school lacrosse, and it's something that interests me. So going through, first we have the review. So it was a cross-sectional systematic review of qualitative data with the knowledge of concussions with coaches and officials. So it took 20 studies of coaches, 6 of both officials and coaches, and then 1 study were just officials. And it just assessed their knowledge of a wide range of concussion knowledge, like return to play, the management of the athletes, the symptoms, prevention, identification, and it just reviewed that. It kind of did an in-depth review and just it asked them a set of basic questions, just determined their knowledge on that type of thing. The results were honestly staggering. I took a few percentages and bits and pieces from the study, but it was honestly horrifying. As you can see, that was horrifying to say the least. It was actually crazy. As you can see, 24 of the 27 studies assessed knowledge for the identification of sports-related concussions. With that, most studies employing stored questionnaires reported concussions identified scores above 50% amongst both coaches and officials. So it's pretty good that they're seeing and knowing what a concussion is. But as you go through the results, it gets kind of scary with the return to play and the assessing of concussions. They know what they are, but it's kind of hard that they're not incorporating that into actually using it on the athletes. As we continue on, another study showed that. I'm sorry. Another study showed that 32.7% of coaches felt that concussions without loss of consciousness did not necessitate removal from play. That was insane to me. Most concussions don't involve a loss of consciousness. It's actually in fact kind of rare. A lot of concussions that are unconscious, but there's a lot that you don't lose consciousness, which I thought was insane. And then another one said that, with reports that 28.4% of coaches thought it was safe to return to play if a game if symptoms lessened than 15 minutes, which is also nuts. It was horrifying. Those two numbers really stuck out to me. I decided to add a positive and 2 negatives, but if you continue on with the study, it just bodes it's very scary. The ethical concerns is a lack of knowledge by coaches, and it's also trying to see how officials and coaches weren't trained, taught the basics of concussions and return to play protocol. For the study, it didn't involve any studies with athletic trainers too, which kind of bodes it down to high school and middle school levels of training for this type of thing. So that can get kind of sticky and that kind of thing. It's pretty concerning ethically. For the concussions wise, and then for the just basics off the actual data and the research, it's a little ethical with not having athletic trainers there. It can kind of skew it to where it's just you're kind of focusing on perhaps maybe some negatives there. Continuing on, the validity of the review, for me, I trusted it due to 2 things. One, there was an appraisal tool, the appraisal tool of the cross-sectional studies, and employed the quality and reliability of each of the studies. And then it was also, the studies were also conducted on PubMed, MedOnline, Ovid, Web of Science, Sports Discuss. These are kind of accredited spots to validize for me the trustworthiness. And then finally going on, I have the source in APA format for anyone who would like to see it. Thank you.